Alright guys, well we're going to take a look at our next technique, and the next technique is going to be how to use the lightning effect. So I just took this quick video where it looks like I am kind of shooting lightning out of my hands, or it will look like it. So let's take a look at how we can actually do this effect. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure you've got your video down here in your project panel, or in your timeline panel rather. And went ahead and I created my new composition for that. Then over in the effects panel over here, you're going to find effects and presets. Now if you can't find it, sometimes you may have to click on these two arrows, find effects and presets, click on it, and we're just going to type in lightning. And as soon as you start to get it in, it should show up here. And we're going to do this one that's called Advanced Lightning. Now, the lightning has to go on a layer. And over here, we have our video layer. But if we put it over top of it, it's gonna just cover it up. So before we even do anything with this over here, what we need to do is over here, we're going to do a 2-finger click down here, kind of in this empty space. And I'm going to hit New Shape Layer. And that gives me this new shape layer here. Nothing really changes with my video, but what it does is it gives me a place to put my lightning. So that way it doesn't cover up my video. All right, so it's an important step. Put your new shape layer right there. Let's even just give it a name. Let's call it lightning, just so we know what it is. And now I can drag my lightning over and drop it on there. And you see then it gives you this kind of cool looking lightning here. So what we're going to try to do with this is we're going to try to make it look like I'm shooting it out of my hands. So there's a number of ways you can do that. If it pops up this effects controls over here, you've got all the options here. Or if it doesn't work that way, over here you can go to lightning, click the down arrow, go to effects, advanced lightning, hit the down arrow, and it's basically the same thing, just if you can't find it, either way you can find it underneath there then as well. Now the first thing that I want to do is I want to make it so that it looks like the lightning comes out right as I bring my hands up, like so. So let's say I'll say right there. Now what I don't want to have is I don't want to have the lightning before that. So I'm going to just go ahead and right here where my timeline is, I'm just going to come up and hit edit, split layer, and I'm actually just going to get rid of this first part of it so that at the beginning there's no lightning, and then as it comes to where I'm about to start with my hands, it will show up there. All right, so I'm going to go back underneath my effects, advanced lightning, and the first thing that I want to change, I want to make it look, there's a few different types of lightning. I want to make it look like it kind of shoots out of my hand. So I'm actually going to choose this one called strike. So underneath the lightning type, you can see you can change this drop down arrow to strike. Now that helps me in a few ways because I can now control the starting point and the ending point. The starting point is called the origin. So what I want to do is just take the origin, and I'm going to click on that little crosshairs there, drag it to where I want it to go, and I'm going to set the keyframe there because my hands move. And I'm also going to set the direction. The direction is this second one here, and I'm going to set the keyframe there. So I'm going to make it kind of just be a little short bolt that starts to come out. I'll move maybe just a few frames ahead, and as I do that, my hands start to move out, so I'm going to change my origin, and I'm going to change the direction and start making it a little bit longer so that it's moving ahead. Go a few more frames ahead. Change the origin so it stays in line with my hands. Make the direction come out even further. Go maybe just a few more frames. Looks like the origin's still good, but this time I'm going to have the direction go all the way off the side. And let's just check to go to the end to where, make sure it stays in line with my hands. It's looking pretty good. And then as I start to bring my hands down, I could even at that point, I can hit this to add a keyframe. Then as I start moving ahead, I can start bringing it back. Let's actually add one more keyframe here on the origin too before I start moving my hands down. Bring my origin back a little bit more, so that it looks like the lightning is coming back in then as well. And it's not just kind of an abrupt end. All right. And I also then, because now basically I'm done, I'm going to split this layer then as well. And I'm going to cut that one off. All right, so far this is what it looks like. All right, where it kind of shoots out and then it kind of comes back. But it's not really, moving around that much. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So that is in the conductivity state. So again, I can start my keyframe here at the beginning with it at 0. And I can just even move ahead all the way to the end. And I can bring this up, I don't know, let's say like 5. And what will happen then is that now gives it that kind of crackling effect as it moves. Right? You also have a few other things that you can do with this. The core settings are the kind of this whitish color inside, and you can see you can set the radius of it, how thick that is. You can set even the color of that. The glow settings, you can set those as well, and you can say how thick the glow around it is, and the color. So if you wanted it to be green or red or whatever color you want it to be, you can change the color of that then as well. Okay, so you can play around with that, set that color. Now you could do lightning, like you could shoot lightning out of your hands, or maybe you're going to run really fast and you're going to put lightning coming out from behind your feet, and you can set that as well. Whatever you want to do and however you want to use that, but that's kind of a cool effect that you can do, is to use that lightning, and it's actually pretty easy to do because it's already built into that. Okay, all right, well, have fun with that. See if you can do that and make that lightning strike.